So welcome everybody. Very happy to see you all here. Very happy to be here myself. Uh, Especially thank you to Bindo to have this open question and answer with us on our questions related to Advaita and our seeking. And also I just want to take the time to really thank Prakash. At this point right now, he's been playing an absolutely essential role in this house that's serving all of us. So with that said, just to remind you guys and everyone on the listen as well, on the replay listen is what I mean, that we'll continue to have classes Wednesday and Friday at the same time, 8:30 p.m. IST, and Q&As on Sunday. And that a lot of those replays, especially for the Q&As, you'll need to come here for those replays, but many of other classes and the current one for Taittiriya will be on the YouTube channel, if that's easier for you, at Advaita Retold, or you can also seek and search the handle Advaitic Talks, and you'll find those replays. So with that, anything that is on people's mind that they would like to discuss to further their inquiry and their path, please raise your hand and come up and help us to all benefit from what you've been thinking about. So it's hard to believe that no one's been thinking about anything. Here comes Venkat. I was going to bring something up, but it's better if Venkat does. Happy to see you.
Sure, Radamisha. Happy to see you after a long time. Hope everything going well with you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Binduji, this is sort of around the topic we were on before we get to the next Wednesday. Thought
Yes.
we'll do a little application of this 5 koshas. Sorry, 5 sheets. I was trying to map the Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Among these, the one I'm trying to put Karma Yoga is in the Manonmaya, Gnana Yoga in Vijnanamaya, and Bhakti Yoga in Anandamaya. The yoga is also a way to get to the source. The direction given by Shankara also, how to get to the source. Yeah, he given clues in each of this his description. Is this mapping because the karma yoga is to remove the bondage at this level. Vijnanamaya also from identification with body mind intellect to that of Brahman at Vijnanamaya. Bhakti yoga is to use the same Priyamoda Pramoda towards the Guru or Daiva, shifting. This is maybe it's a wild thinking, but is this the right way, right interpretation? And this is wild imagination. You can take it that way also.
Yeah, I would put it in the latter. The sense that Karma Yoga is at the levels of Manasa, Vacha, Karmana, that physical, mental, and intellectual. All the 3 are involved. Okay. Whereas the Bhakti Yoga is more to do with mental and physical. And when it comes to Vijnanamaya, it is predominantly the Jnana Yoga. But all the other 2 are supplementary to Vijnana Yoga, because unless you listen and read and absorb, that Nidhyasana cannot happen at the Vijnanamaya level. So you cannot compartmentalize them, saying that at these levels each of the yogas are functioning.
Okay.
That's why I said you cannot compartmentalize like that way.
Okay. This is one, in the Bhashya, there's the tapasa vrutti, tamognena vidya, brahmacharanena shraddhaya, cha nirmalatvam apadyate yavad yavat tavat tavat vivikte prasanne that brahmacharya charyana shraddhaya and
Yes.
that tapasa vritti tamo gnana vidya that this is about Anandamaya only. It is prescribing how to get away from the sukasya kshanikatvam. That sukha is kshanika, hence further that tapasa vritti bring it to the that brahmacharya that shraddhaya, it is also prescribing shraddhaya leading to nirmalatvam. That the prescription by Shankara, in each level he is giving his prescription also. So that I was trying to marry this yoga with this, maybe not the right direction. Yeah.
See, the thing is that the tapas there is talking about vidya brahmacharyena is the what yavat yavat tavat tavat. That means shows the yavat yavat tavat tavat is showing the kshanikatvam of the vidya and brahmacharya. Shraddha is required for both vidya and brahmacharya. So it is not the type of yoga which is what you are talking about is being described in this particular statement. It is to show the kshanikatvam of even the meditation and brahmacharya, and as long as you do yavat yavat tavat tavat means as long as you perform that, only to that extent will be the benefit of the the sukham you will get it during that period. But since they are all having a beginning in time and have an end in time, that is why the yavat yavat tavat tavat means as long as. That is the meaning of the yavat yavat tavat tavat. So as long as you perform the meditation and you are in the deep meditation, you can feel that happiness of meditation, or in the brahmacharya etc. what you are doing will definitely yield its own its effect, because it's a physical karma, and so your kamya karmas are set aside. You are not going to enter into kamya karmas. So there, this priya moda will not work. But pramoda will happen due to your shraddha and the brahmacharya. That is where you have to understand.
I think this Ananda Vishesha Utkarshate Vipali Bhavati, that
yes.
Utkarsha happen.
Utkarsha means high, incremental increase.
Okay. Now just remove all this effort. Even a baby smiles a lot more than an adult. That Utkarshe Vipali Bhavati is natural to a baby, right, Binduji? Without any effort, it is available to a baby.
You don't know. The baby may appear to be smiling or doing things which what you cannot really say what is the happiness or physical or the feeling which the baby has got. So it is an assumption what we do, which we think the babies are happy. But how unhappy they are, we don't know.
Okay. Now, I'm just trying to look at the nature. Even the nature, a blossoming flower in the garden, that the Vipali Bhavati, Utkarshate, that even a bird singing, after eating, this, nightingale is going to come soon with the, mango leaves going to be new, and it will eat and sing.
Eat and singing is for calling the compatriots, other birds to come and enjoy also. Not for its own happiness. It is a way of informing its herd that I have found some food here. All of you can come here.
So not singing out of happiness.
No.
Okay. Because this nature templates what we see all along. either a baby.
Nature other than human beings, in the case of animals and all, it is mainly kshut pipasa, hungry and thirst, and that is what their happiness is rested upon. If they are
Okay.
hungry, then, and when it is satisfied, they are happy of the hunger. But they don't have the happiness what human beings have got, where there is a desire, then, working for the desire, holding it in, and then making it a part of their being by consuming it. This type of even if they see a prey, for them, the effort is whether they will get it or not, they are not sure. So their mental framework on the animal's case is what is that they keep on hunting morning till night, and if whatever they get, they enjoy it. Enjoy it in the sense that consume it. And that time, whatever happiness is there will be there. I'm not denying that. But that is nowhere comparable to which has got a mind which is developed, where these things can be enjoyed.
Got it. How do you categorize? I know this I got it, Bindoji. How do you categorize the nature putting up a show, the blossoming of the flowers? Even though I'm not the honeybee to go, suck that nectar out of the flower, but I still see that blossoming.
Blossoming is a natural phenomenon among the flower or any plant species for the purpose of propagation of their pollens. And for that, they make different things as attractive to the, carriers who drink. For example, the blossom is for attracting this purpose. In certain places, like coconut and all, the husk, which is a bouncing nature, falling from such a height, is bouncing it to such a distance that it goes away from the plant for further growing. So natural instinct, or the design of the nature is for progeny or propagation, but not for happiness.
Got it. See, Bindoji, I think I'm trying to get to this whole, why would a flower look good to me?
Yeah, that is your definition, Venkat. You are defining it as the flower is happy, that is why it is blossoming. That is from the point of view because you enjoy it. You are having a Priya, Moda, Pramoda activity in your mind. So you attribute that onto the flower and say the flower blossoming is a event of happiness for the flower. Now the flower is not having any intention of that to be happy by blossoming. It has to blossom, then only the propagation will happen. The sunflower, why do they shut down after the sunset? Have you noticed it?
Yeah, I'm getting it, Bindu.
Is it because they are unhappy because the sun has gone? No. That is a natural way of the flower, because in the bright sun, the brightness attracts, or the yellow brightness of this thing attracts the bees and the insects to come and take the pollens from them and propagate. And in the night, if the insects are there, settling there, the night birds will come and attack the flower, which will be detrimental for the flower. So the flower doesn't want that to be hampered. So it shut down as soon as the sun is shutting down.
Sure. I'm trying to get, I'm just trying to reason this out. Even look at the peacock. Peacock, if you look at the peacock, it puts up a, huge show for the hen to, the lady to get attracted. But for the one who's watching this whole show, the show
you should talk other than human beings.
Yeah. Why that show looks good to me? I think that's the only question, Vinodji. Even though I'm
See,
not
that's,
part of that procreation, I'm not part of that procreation in the pollination, etc. But still, it looked good. Why
yeah,
it is so?
that is because your eyes seeing the multicolors and the dance of the peacock is giving a sort of happiness to you because you feel that there is beauty in it. That beauty gives you happiness. If it had been a monkey dancing, ugly way of dancing, or let us say it is making a war cry for before mating, the chimpanzees and other thing. It is also making a war cry because he want to be the head of the group. But his intention is also the same as that of the peacock, to propagate his family. So, but that is not happy for you, whereas the peacock dancing is happy for you because there is beauty in it, which is in your eyes. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder is the famous statement, you know that. So it is in your eyes that there is a beauty, whereas in the other case, there is no beauty. It looks like more horrible or, dangerous. Whereas here you feel that, there is no what you call damage or anything like that. So it's our projection. The nature has no role. It is neutral to everything, neither happiness nor sorrow. It is just for the propagation of the family that it is being done. We give values for good, bad, ugly, happiness, sorrow and all because of our mental makeup. The nature has no such definitions.
Okay. So then this will fall into the vrutti of, the either human vrutti to see this way, the colorful,
Yes?
Yudada vrutti, Yudada
So
vrutti.
it's a vritti only.
Okay.
Manovritti.
So then it lead to the utkarsha is a result of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that way to understand is better.
It's not only peacock. If you have watched the BBC series of wildlife, the type of birds and the way in which they attract their, mates is so wonderful that, we will not be able to see it in the ordinary thing, but the BBC cameraman and the team has spent millions of hours in the wild, in the forests of Amazon and Africa and other places to capture those type of acts by the animals. So I keep watching them because it gives me happiness in the sense, as you rightly said, that how beautiful nature is, taking care without destroying anything else. Without damaging a single leaf or a tree, the life continues between one to another, and everybody is living peacefully coexisting, except when they need food. If it is a vegetarian animal, it will go for a vegetarian fruit or thing like that. Only if a carnivorous animal, he will attack only when he is hungry. For next 3-4 days, if he is not hungry, he is not going to touch. Even if the deer walks past the lion, it will not attack. It will be just lying down there, basking in the sun. I have seen it myself with my own eyes in Africa. For the African safari, if you go, you can see that. They had their sumptuous meal. They were all happy, lying, sometimes, rolling over in the grass. But the deer was walking past by that. No, they were not also afraid about it. There is so much of things which we can learn from nature if you really observe it. But humanity, for their own nature of aggrandizing, hoarding, and, competing with each other who will be wealthier, we have starved the world more than the animals could ever starve the whole earth since the inception of earth or the inception of animals. That is the state of human beings. where they are heading to.
I think look like this is the whole, the desire paradox is built around this.
Yes.
It is inherent and always, right from Annamaya looking for food.
That desire is due to misplaced identity.
Yeah. The whole, I think now I get it, Benujay. This whole range of vrittis at each level working on its own. And that's the way it is created. And it will drive the life this way. Always.
Okay. Yes.
Got it, Benujay. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkat. Revati?
Namaste, Binduji, and all.
Namaste.
Binduji, the Anandamaya, the Pramoda of Anandamaya is dependent on Vijnanamaya, or it is restricted just to the, there is a Priyadi Vasana Nivritto Hi Atma, that is restricted to the dream Ananda, or the Pramoda of Anandamaya, Ananda, Binduji?
I didn't get your this.
Here it is the Priyadi Vasana Nivritto. There is the Ananda of dream is dependent on Vijnanamaya.
Vijnanamaya is Vijnanamaya there is to indicate Dandakarna, both Manamaya and Vijnanamaya. But Vijnanamaya per se is not active in the dream. Only Manomaya and Pranamaya Sharira. That is.
But the Anandamaya, but the Ananda of dream is dependent on the Ananda Vijnanamaya, right?
Yeah, see, Anandamaya is permeating through up to the body level, physical Annamaya level. It is not separate from the others. Vijnanamaya doesn't permeate into Anandamaya. Manomaya doesn't permeate into Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. And Pranamaya doesn't permeate into Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. Like that you have to see. And Annamaya is only at the Annamaya level. Whereas the subtler ones, Pranamaya, is permeating in Pranamaya as well as in Annamaya. Manomaya is permeating in Manomaya, Pranamaya and Annamaya. Like that you have to, when you compare that, the Anandamaya is there in all the levels.
Yes, but
I'm not. I don't know whether I got your question or not. Or else you are asking.
I will repeat again.
Yes.
The Pramoda of Anandamaya, but the higher Ananda of is dependent on the Vijnanamaya, because the Vijnanamaya will decide it is. It will take the. Is it Ananda or Dukkha, Sukha or Dukkha? It decides, right? Am I right?
See, the Vijnanamaya decides that it is Sukha or Dukkha, but the Ananda which is happening is in the Vijnanamaya level only. But because Anandamaya is also present in the Vijnanamaya.
Yes. There it decides, yes.
Yeah, there it decides. Not that it goes back to Anandamaya for enjoying the Pramoda. No. The Pramoda is enjoyed even at the Annamaya level. When you are eating a ice cream or a sweet, the happiness is in the tongue, right? So that is been enjoyed and analyzed by the Manomaya, and Vijnanamaya makes it saying that it is good or bad, or whether it is as good as your last experience. All those things are at the Vijnanamaya level. But the Ananda which is coming from the Anandamaya is enjoyed at the Annamaya level.
Yes, still the 5 sheets enjoys that Ananda.
Yes. That is why that Ananda is a reflected consciousness, what we say, or the reflected bliss of Tatam Brahma Pucham Pratishta.
Yes. And Binduji, the all sheets are, as the Karyatvam is there, because after that the Tanmatra only they will take place. So we can't say it's now as per the Anandamaya sheet, it's Nirguna. We can't say, no? It's Saguna Upasana? Or
everything other than Brahma, everything is Saguna.
Saguna, right. Okay.
That is where the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, all the three are operating.
Yes, Guna
that is there in the Anandamaya also.
Yes. Clear, Binduji. Thank you.
Thank you, Revati. Jai?
Hello,
one question or many questions?
Actually, Binduji, last week I decided that...
Not able to hear you.
Yeah, you're totally quiet, Jay.
Is it better now?
Not able to hear you.
Is it better now? Hello?
It's better now.
Thank you, yeah. Actually, last week I thought I should not ask any more questions because...
Why?
Yes, because... See, the amount of knowledge you have given me, I should have enlightened 5 times already. Should have. So much phenomenal benefit I got from you. All these months listening to you and your beautiful pointed answers. I thought 5 times, not 1 time. So much knowledge, jnana you have given me. Honestly, if I were to have some seriousness, I should have become enlightened at least 5 times, if not more. But then I thought, okay, enough is enough. But sorry, this is habit, wrong, my nature. So I'll try to ask only a few questions further and remain silent.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so now I want to have clarity on what is real happiness or pleasure or the right thing to do. Because in this spectrum, I at least am clear that pleasure is bad because it is demand, it is mental, and it leads to corruption and all those things. And so pleasure is bad, but also there is Satyam, Sivam, Sundaram. So there is something which is actually Sundaram, which is okay to have, just walking in a jungle and looking at beautiful nature and beautiful flowers is not a sin, but pleasure could be a sin. So I want to know what is actually the right way. I'm not sure if enjoy is the right word and all. So, and the eyes of wonder is great. I think it is not a sin because even children look at this physical universe with wonder. So I think wonder is not sin, physical is pleasure is sin, and Sundaram is not sin. So in the spectrum, Binduji, and I also agree that even all this beautiful showcasing of even the nature is just for sexual attraction and procreation and for reproduction and for survival. So which of these things is closer to Sundaram, which is okay, and which of them which the society thinks it is okay, pleasure and entertainment, which of these emotions or feelings are bad and which of these is right, is my question.
Jai, nothing is wrong and nothing is right. There is no sin and there is no sinlessness. It is how we react what makes them sinful or sinless. The nature is neutral to everybody, from the ant to the elephant in today's sense, or I would have said to the dinosaurs. They are not there. So from the smallest to the biggest, nature is neutral and there is nothing called wanted or prohibited from the nature's point of view. They are all there for necessity. That word is very important. A necessity is not triggered by desire. It is desired by the moment and what outcome naturally should happen is to be decided by our own intellect, because we have been given the intellect to do, not to do, or to do it in a different way. But our way of looking at to things to do, not to do, or not to do it in a different way is purely today driven by our desires. Therefore, we overdo things, we trample upon things which are not supposed to be trampling upon, or we don't leave things for others, we aggrandize. We also, what happens is that we waste lot of things, even if there are plenty of things available for us. With the money which we have purchased already, we can lead the rest of our life. I can be sure all of us here in this room will have enough clothes in the wardrobe with which you can definitely cover your body for the rest of your life. All of us must be having. And same way, the food which we have got, or the money with which we can buy food, is enough for us to take care of our thing. But we are uncertain and about so many things in the future. So our desires keep saying, okay, for a birthday I need a new dress, or for a marriage I will buy a new dress, or for some function I will need these are all old people have seen me already in this dress, I need a new dress. These type of things are the one which are making our possessions, what I call it as possessions, accumulate. And I can be rest assured there will be at least more than a dozen of things in your room or in your house which you would not have touched for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year in the last 1, 2, 3 years. Why are you hoarding them? Why are you keeping them? No, sometimes it may come handy. So you are keeping them, not using that. Like that is how our life has been going on. We have never been considerate. The word to be used is that my not buying a dress when it is not necessary, absolutely not necessary, will make it available to somebody who needs it at that time very badly. But by my buying, even though it is not required, if I am keeping it without giving an opportunity for other person to buy, I am stealing his opportunity. All these type of things are the reasons why the word pleasure and other things what you said that, nature things which is to be sundaram. These type of definitions are coming out of that ignorance, which I would call it as not your ignorance, but conditioned by the society and the human mind for desires. What is to be done? Whenever you do anything, think about others before doing that activity. Is it absolutely necessary for me to do it? What are the consequences of it? And am I going to make the world less rich than what I got? Or should I work in such a way that I leave the world richer than what I got when I was born? These type of thoughts should be the way which we should be living in this world. That is what is called a wise living. Otherwise, we are always driven by our desires. We can justify it. Nobody is saying you don't have a justification. But justification without thinking is what is creating the problem.
Thanks, Binduji. And to extend that question, okay, simple living is agreeable for sure. Like minimalist is better, but then how minimalist? Is my salary 10,000 rupees okay? 1 lakh rupees okay? Like how can anybody decide minimal? And also, before even deciding, we are forced, when we are kids, our value system or how much marks we have to take, how much money we have to make is forced by our parents, and then the spouse, and then even children. They will decide how much minimalist or maximum, how much bank account we need to have. So that is, how can we decide what is minimal for a person with this social peer pressure and familial influences?
Your word had that answer, peer pressure. If you are going by the peer pressure for your minimalistic living, you will be where you are today. If you decide that what is required will be met when it is required, not that I plan and accumulate and keep it that it may be required, then it is not minimalistic. Because you don't know you are there tomorrow, right? So why buy 10 shirts and 20 shirts, 20 shirts and keep it in the wardrobe? You may need 7, 5. You decide it. I'm not the person to decide it. You have to decide your own requirement. Start reducing it first. Then you will come to an optimum level. Or if you go below, you can buy at that time. You always have the money. So whether to buy it or not, you can decide. The money which you are getting is depending upon the education which you have spent. Your parents have spent the money on your education. So you are being rewarded for your education, not that you are working for your money. If you are not able to perform your job based on your education, nobody will give you salary. Even you may have the best degree from the best university in the world, but if you are not able to perform, no employer would like to employ you. So all those shows that you are not working for the money. You are working for your satisfaction of the work and performing 100% in the work entrusted to you. The reward comes by itself. You are not working for the reward, which we will see more when I take the Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga part of it, you will see that. Doesn't mean that you should not work. To work, we cannot do without even a minute without working. But what happens is that what we are driven by, we are not aware what is driving us. That is where I want you to think about it and be judicious whether you are being a victim or a slave or, of your, pressure, peer pressure or desire pressure, whatever it is, or do you get to take a chance or choice of how I should live? Are you making the world richer than what you got it? That should be the first and primary question which you should ask yourself. When I get the world, when I leave the world, between the two, I should be contributing with my might for bettering the world rather than consuming and making the world lesser. That should be the attitude.
Thanks, Binduji. This helps. Yeah, Srinivas or SK.
Yeah, I think that, I'm not sure.
Silent.
I think that.
Silent, I think. Silent has come before Srini.
Yeah, Silent, please.
Go ahead, Silent.
Namaste, Binduji.
Namaste. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. I have a quote by Guru Nanak.
Yes.
I have been meditating on it, and with the blessing of my mentor, I was also able to live it in real life. So I would want to share it with you and follow up with a question.
Silent, if you can speak a little bit louder, it will help all of us.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Still kind of quiet, but we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what...
So stay closer to the mic.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes. Better.
All right. Thank you. So, the quote is, it is in Guru Granth Sahib. The quote is, Lakh akasa akas, lakh patala patal. in reference that if you transcend, then you in your spiritual journey can see many, many heavens in hierarchy. And just the opposite is many, many patals, like many, many dimensions below the earth. So the first exploration was easy for me, which I did with the blessing of my mentor. But the latter one was very difficult when I understood that it is also a possibility that there are worlds beneath this land, which I did. And I found out that there are. So my question is this. It is in my personal
Silent.
experience.
I'm really sorry, but a number of people have said they're really it's very hard to hear you still.
Okay.
Just speak really loudly if you have to.
Okay. Is it okay now?
No, but
Come closer to the mic.
I guess.
Hold your mic in your hand or the phone in your hand.
Okay, just give me a moment. I'll leave and come back.
yeah, we'll just give them a moment to come back in. And it's okay to wait a minute so that we can all hear him.
Yeah, Binduji, actually I have a related question to what Jayji had brought up.
That's great.
Just to have that.
If you could just wait, because Srini was actually next in any event. So let's just give
Okay,
a moment.
sure.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure everyone's respected. On my phone, I'm not seeing Silent come back in, which is odd. Maybe he had to reboot his phone. Let's just give it like at most one more minute, and then we could go ahead to Srini would be next.
I think we can go ahead with the Srini and then
Okay.
give Silent the chance if he comes.
Okay, that sounds good. Namaste, Srinivas.
Hi, Artemisia. Namaste, Binduji.
Namaste,
So,
Srini.
I think my question was, I wanted to ask when there is a Taratamya of Ananda told, the different levels of Ananda, on what basis is it told? Because Ananda is only one level, right? Like it is only a single thing. So is it because it is misconceived and maybe interpreted in time and space or something, it is told like that? Or why is that Taratamya told, Binduji?
Okay, it is coming in the 7th and 8th Anuvaka, which will be taking up in the coming weeks.
Okay.
But to answer you simply, it is the potency of the bodies of different names which is being coming in that hierarchy. The Hiranyagarbha being the highest in the order and the human being and the lowest of the run. But among the human beings also, there is the person with, infinite ayus or life, all health, all wealth, everything which is at his beck and call and he is the ruler of the world, not even a country. He is the ruler of the entire earth. Such a person's Ananda is measured as one. And then 100 times of that, like that, it goes up to the Hiranyagarbha level. And then says, the happiness of the person who knows Brahma as his own nature is Shrotriyasya Akamaghasya. So one who is Shrotriya and Akama he has no more desires because he has got the one which is everything. Brahman himself, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So that he has nothing more to desire for. So he is still higher than all including the Hiranyagarbha. That is how it is going to come, 7th and 8th Anuvaka.
Okay, thank you, Binduji. I'll maybe later, if I have more questions, I'll ask after that. Thanks.
I think SK, you can go ahead. Silent does not yet come.
Yeah, sure, Binduji. So, Binduji, this is related to what you were discussing with Jay. that articulation, when it is when you're talking about just letting go of desires, we are like entitled to all the four purusharthas, right, Binduji, according to the Shruti.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, but out of that, Dharma is the first one, which shows that using Dharma, what Artha you want, using Dharma, what Kama you have, using Dharma, what Moksha you are wanting to proceed, is what is called the four Purusharthas. But it is all depending upon the way in which it has to be first fitting the Dharma part of it. So, Dharma, Artha means whatever wealth you want should be acquired by means of Dharma, and how you spend should be also dictated by and controlled and guided by Dharma. And same way, the Kama or the desires should be as required in the Dharma. That is for progeny, etc. Or for wealth, is what is the wealth limit you want, or any other enjoyment or any other Kama which you have to desire it with the Dharma as the guiding factor. Even moksha, there are many means of moksha, but the moksha which you are really looking for should be desired by the Dharma, which should be giving you the ultimate, not confused by the other mokshas, which are also called mokshas, but they are all temporary in nature. What we think, yat jnatva sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati, knowing which everything becomes known, or there is nothing more to be known before, beyond which. So that type of a moksha is considered the proper dharmic moksha. Any other moksha, getting out of your boredom is a moksha. Getting out of your, clutches of your loan or my financial liability is also a moksha. These are moksha means freedom. That's all. But what freedom is the ultimate freedom? That freedom which sets you free forever. Not even you as an individual will be there to be freed. To that extent, you are getting freed. The limitation of the individual also is destroyed in that purpose. That is the ultimate moksha, which is being mentioned. That is why the four Purusharthas are to be defined and understood.
Yeah, but the only problem is to pursue moksha, if you have to forgo of maybe not dharma, but at least like artha and kama, because that is what it like sounded like. Grihastha, that could be a problem. Like
there is no problem. There is no problem at all, SK. It is what you want ultimately, what sets your limitations. If you want to be a grihastha and pursue your moksha, then you will be moksha less the grihastha limitations, not the ultimate moksha. The ultimate moksha will set you free from even the individuality feeling or the limitation of the individuality. Is that what I said? So if the grihastha ashrama is there, now you think you cannot leave the grihastha ashrama, then that is a limitation and then you are not going to achieve the moksha, ultimate moksha, which sets you free. You will be free from certain limitations which otherwise will be limiting you. That's all. But it is not the absolute freedom which we are talking about.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vinod. Just one quick follow-up question, Vinod. So recently I was like kind of going through some of the videos. So how important is like celibacy in the Jnana Marga, Vinod? Like, or does it have any role to play, or just Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is all that is required, like no other requirement?
If you are a brahmachari, the celibacy has to be 100%. If you are a grihastha, the consummation of marriage should be only for procreation of a child for your, the family thing to be continued. And that too, once the child is grown up enough, then you are supposed to even move with the wife to full-time engagement of moksha pursuit. And even Yajnavalkya, after having 2 wives, and the ashram is so big and everything, with the full knowledge, who even educated King Janaka, at the end of it, he takes to sannyasa, because he wants to say that the ultimate moksha cannot be achieved being remaining as a grihastha. So he also takes to sannyasa, which Shankaracharya has taken up as a big thing, and he has propagated that as mandatory for moksha. So only those who do absolute celibacy and sannyasa, such people will only get moksha, is as per the writings of Shankaracharya. But when it is mentioned about people like Janaka, etc., who have got moksha, he is Shankaracharya saying that yes, they have got knowledge, but their thing is moksha abhasa. It is a reflected moksha, not the absolute moksha. But in the Brihadaranya Upanishad, Shankaracharya has made a deviation and said that the ultimate mukti, or the total freedom, will come only when the body is also abandoned. That is Videha Mukti. That means till then the mukti is a Jivan Mukti, but the ultimate mukti which is there is that body also should be there, so that there is no prarabdha or no body or nothing is remaining. That is there in the Brihadaranya Upanishad also.
Yeah, thanks, Vinod.
Thank you, Ski. Silent, you are welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
Very much.
Okay. Thank you. So I wanted to share the verse in Guru Granth Sahib, which I mentioned. Lakh Akasa Akas, Lakh Patala Patal, written by Guru Nanak Dev. And I wanted to ask you, since it says that there are many, many heavens above us, and there is hierarchy above us, and if you have the blessings of your mentor, you can transcend and see them. You can also meet the ascended masters in the subtle form. The other aspect is Lakh Patala Patal, which is the reference that there are places under this earth which have the opposite going on of heavens. Now this is in the Guru Granth Sahib. So because of the blessing of my mentor, I was able to accept that this verse is true, because I could see certain realms in the heavens. I want to ask you, if both of these are true, then right now as we speak, can we consider that there are levels under this planet which are functional, which have life? That's the first question.
So Srigal, the main aspect of the lokas, 7 lokas on the higher realm, 7 lokas in the lower realm, including the earth. This is how the 14 lokas have been defined in the Shastras, which is accepted by Guru Granth Sahib also. Now, these lokas are not physical lokas. They are all called experiential lokas. They are not located high above. Akash is the word used, even though Akash is there in your heart also. Hridaya Akash. So, when the word Akash is used, it is a realm which is beyond the physical being. That means not enjoyed by the physical body, but with the realms of subtle in nature, which can be accessed by the mind and the intellect, or the subtle bodies of human beings, which is what we have, the 5 sheets which we have got. So the more you go from the physical to the subtler, the higher is the experiences, and which we call it as up to the Surga Loka, the Surga being the highest. And the grosser things are called up to Padala, which is it is neither under the earth nor below the earth. Earth, there the representation is for the physical body, Annamaya body, or the body which is born out of the food consumed by the parents, nourished by the food which we eat, and at the end of the death, the body goes back to the earth for becoming food for other plants and vegetation. So that is the level from where the grossness will increase. The grossness here is the suffering mode, whereas the subtleness moves toward the happiness. The suffering increases in the physical body and goes beyond the tolerable levels. That is up to the level of Padala, where, the imagination of those who wrote these things say that you will be virtually boiling in the oil in that place. Means that much of pain and endurance you have to keep on having as long as you have those worlds of experience. So what the Guru Granth Sahib wants to tell us in this process is that when you have Shraddha, faith in the Master, and when you are dedicating it to the teachings of the Guru, then you are not undertaking anything which is required for your physical body and the grosser body levels. You will be more dedicating yourself for the higher levels of intellect and mental thing, where you will be growing in the attachment towards the finer aspects of spirituality, and your happiness will keep increasing. This is what is called the higher worlds and the lower world, which is there in the Puranas of Hindu mythology. It is there in the Guru Granth Sahib, and you can find it in other books also.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bindoji. Is my voice audible?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just a follow-up. This was in reference, if it is actually there, but if there is a connection that is established between these lokas, if it is possible, then that individual or that person who is able to establish gets the authority to tweak the fabrication of existence, the way this existence is fabricated. I take the reference of Jesus because I see him as the master who actually did it, who could tweak the fabric of existence. The world was one way and it just turned the other way after Jesus. So if a connection is established between these lokas by an individual who is alive, do you think or do you believe that the fabric of existence can be changed?
Yes, very much. We call them masters or, avatars in this world. Whether it is Jesus, Krishna, Rama, Guru, or anybody for that matter. How do they change the fabric of the world? by their wisdom and sharing of their wisdom, they are creating a world which absorbs the wisdom and puts it into practice. And when that wisdom is percolating down, and when people live in that wisdom advised by these masters, the period will show that the world has been tweaked by the master. What happens is that the Shraddha or the faith in the such masters reduce over a period of time. And then what happens is that people start moving away from the wisdom to more of the, desires and personal aspects of it. That is the time when the deterioration takes place. And whenever there is a deterioration in the world order, a master has to come. That is how the nature protects the world itself. A master will come and he will share his wisdom, and that wisdom will become the beacon and guide light for tweaking the world for a better world for generations. Again, the cycle will continue. It will deteriorate. Again, it will happen. So, whether Rama came and went, Krishna came and went, Jesus came and went, it is not important. If you are having the wisdom by way of the books which are available now, if there is a master which is available next to you or to guide you, not only you should follow the wisdom, you should also make the wisdom known to your circle, your family, your children, your friends, so that your surrounding becomes a world guided by the wisdom. And if that is done by all those who are listening, you can imagine the world will become a better world for all of us. Thus, that is how the world is being tweaked. Not because of any other, don't go by the words of miracle and things like that. That is some sort of added to the story of masters as they have done wonderful things or miracles and everything. Be scientific, accept it. They are sharing their wisdom, and that is the wisdom of the master which changes the world.
Thank you so much, Vindaji.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Silent and others. The questions and the answers also, Bindu, are especially beautiful today. So before I just check again with people already up here, if anyone would like to come up and discuss such topics with Binduji, we invite it. You can see we all benefit from every question that's raised. So raise your hand if so, and Prakash will bring you up. If there aren't any people right at this moment, then is there anybody on the panel? Just one moment. I see SK.
Yeah. HT is there. HT is there. HT.
Yes. Hi, Bindu.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, moderators, for pulling me up. So my question is more personal than with the subject. It is that with all the learnings that, and I keep listening to the group at times, why is that even when in my life I've achieved in terms of education and career substantial growth, in personal life, of course, I mean, I'm yet not married, but then the external clutter, or rather the noise that, the peer pressure and the noise of relatives and the world, right, which constantly tells you it may not align with what you want, puts that pressure, and rather it kind of pushes you to want more. And what Jay was saying, that the minimalistic way of life, or when you feel that, okay, this is what I've achieved and I'm satisfied, but then the expectations of people around you pushes you to do more. And then how much more is definitely different for different people, but there's never an end to it. So how do you actually deal with that external noise and find that place where, how do you come to that, where you find a place where you feel content and happy? Because I feel that even though I've achieved a lot, I am not happy and I am anxious.
Okay, HT, can I call you by any name?
Yes, it's Harshita.
Harshita, okay. Harshita, your happiness, who knows? Let us do question answer type of a thing directly, because it is a very pertinent question, and a lot of people would like to know the progress in which we have to think about it, because that will help them to think also in the similar way. So my question to you, Harshita, is that who will know your happiness?
I think that'll be felt by me.
Yes. Okay. So your happiness is in your hands, or you know it, and you know what will make you happy and how you can be happy. Now, when the pressure is coming from the family or the society or from the work atmosphere, wherever it is, the pressure is natural for them too, because they are putting the pressure based on their happiness, not your happiness. Their happiness they want to satisfy through you. So they will push you to move in that direction. If you are convinced and you are very level-headed, able to explain logically to anyone who is not understanding you, with the disciplined life and a very leveled logical explanation why you are doing what you are doing, because you matters most to yourself. That if you are very fixed and know that is what you want to achieve, you are fixing your happiness, you are fixing your limitation, you are fixing your goals, everything will be controlled by you. Therefore, the happiness, you are not only taking responsibility of your life, you are also designing your life to make it a happy life for yourself. You are not allowing others to design your life, nor allowing others to hijack your, do's and don'ts. You are not at the beck and call of others for living. You want to live your way. You are not going to be, in a arrogant, obnoxious or hurting way. You can logically say why you are what you are and how you want to do it. In a very pleasing, self-respect, respect others and demand respect from others. So when you communicate with the respect, others will have to give you respect because you are giving them respect. So this way, if you deal the problems in your life, I cannot see but guarantee that your life will be a happy life. And there will not be anybody who can come and disturb you, because they will respect you and they will keep you where you want to be, not where they want you to be.
Thank you. And just a small follow-up question is that in life, sometimes you're very sure that this is the path ahead for me and you work towards it, but the results, or rather things, may not happen as you planned. And in those moments, you feel like, you know, it's, you don't see light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps, right? For example, just to give you a example for it, let's say, so I am 32 right now, and of course my parents and relatives wanted me to get married since I'm like 26, 27, but because I don't want to give into the pressure and just marry somebody, but I want to marry when I am ready and I have full confidence that this is the person for me. But according to them, they think that maybe I'm being too restrictive or stubborn, which I know I'm not. But then, even though I want to get married, I'm not meeting the right person. That's not in my hands. So in a situation like this, how can we navigate about it to be more peaceful? And yeah, that's my question.
Ashita, when you show you are happy, I don't think anybody can doubt that they want to make you unhappy by getting married. Their thought is that If you are seen not happy, then they may think that your marriage will make you happy. That way they may put a pressure on you. But if you are happy and you are chirruping and bubbling with happiness, and if your parents are putting a pressure or family is putting a pressure for marriage, you simply ask the question, do you want me to be sad and morose or having fight with my husband and live a sorrow life like you people are all living? Can't you see myself happy and living? If I feel a person is right and get ready to share my values and beliefs in life, and if I feel that I can accept his values and beliefs in life, I will get married, maybe at the age of 50. Why should I get married now if I am happy? If that question is asked, who can stop you from saying anything? I don't
But
say that. Yeah. Yes.
But Binduji, this is a recipe for the extinction of species. Right? Like if
Forget about it. Forget about it. Species. If one person doesn't listen, SK. If nobody will take this advice. If one person is happy in this world, the world will become a happier place. Progeny will happen because there are people who want progeny and who want enjoyment in the copulation. There are people to produce more than 2-3 children in this world. So one person reducing a progeny doesn't mean the world will become less of people. No. Then you should say every couple should have only 1 or 2 child. No. People are having more than 1 or 2 children. So they are compensating for the people who don't want progeny. So your statement of that world will have less progeny is not valid, because the average replacement percentage in the world is 2% and about 2.1%. But definitely there are more people who are having more than 2 children. So they are all compensating for the people who are not producing or those who are producing only 1 child. Doesn't matter. Or you may adopt a child. There are so many people by accident, father and mother is perishing and the child becoming an orphan. Why don't you give that child a life which was taken away from him? There are so many ways in which in this world we can live. We are putting a restriction on our value that it should be my child, my DNA. That is why we are getting into the problem of again and again. See, so I am very open-minded person and I have no restriction of any of this thing. The standard religious and cultural dogma doesn't hold me. My values are very clear. It is from the point of view of what is the purpose of life. Purpose of life is not for progeny alone. Progeny may happen. If you are destined for, if you are in a right moment, you get a right partner, you will have a progeny. Even you may get married as a dings. You may have double income and no kids. Right? What stops you from that? Right? As long as you are happy, both of you are happy, you can have a partner. Maybe it's a living-in partner, not to get married. Anything is possible in today's world. I'm not saying that, all these things should be banned, absorbed, all those things. We should only follow what is being put down in the script. No. When the world is changing, you have to change according to the world for the betterment of the world. Not to drag it down to the dogma and beliefs of system. No.
Oh, but isn't it dharma to have progeny, Binduji, like for the, to propagate the
Not all. Then brahmachari to sannyasa should not be allowed. Why is this happening?
Let's not go too far down this because we have people who want to speak, and also H wasn't, and I apologize, H, I don't understand your name.
Harshida, if have I answered your question?
Yes. Thank you so much, Bindu. Thank you.
I want
You're
to
welcome.
offer an apology that I didn't see you on the stage because, and Bindo and Prakash to know this, my phone isn't properly refreshing even when I swipe, so I didn't see you, and I really apologize. I remembered when you raised your hand today that you raised it a week or two back, and I think we asked you if you could put something in the chat. We acknowledged we didn't know you, and I recognized you today, and wanted to hear you speak, so I apologize. I want to make sure Shobha has enough time also, if you're truly done. But I wanted to say something on that very question, Bindo, if you could expand a little on what you said. This isn't always true, but sometimes I think this is a harder question that she asked for women. And that we naturally have a tendency to have a harder time just going with what we know is right for us. And it sometimes takes a lot of courage of sorts to do that. And I wonder if you could just speak a little bit about where we can find a little bit of that fortitude to be willing to simply be our own person. There's so much energy in the world against women finding their own way.
See, Atimisha, the problem has been high when world became more patriarchal and men started deciding everything for others. There were periods even in the Indian civilization where both men and women were given equal importance. There were saints and, celibate men and women at equal, pedestal accepted by the society, and it was never a problem in India whether anybody wanted to remain single and pursue any profession they want, whether it is performing arts or performing science or performing Vedas or performing sannyasa. Anything was possible. But I have not seen that such a civilization or a living style in the Western world. It has been decided by men for everyone, including the children and the women of the society. So today that problem is very much there in the society because we are not yet giving the freedom for the individual. The individual is not important. The society has become important. The family has become important. The individual should, suffer for the sake of the family or the society is the decision taken by men in the world. But that is not right as per my understanding, because each one is a individual with desire and what you call also deserving the happiness which the individual is looking for. Where he or she finds it should be left to them, not by the family or the society. So, as you rightly said, in today's world, it is difficult for women to make that, that special effort to be happy without the pressure from the society or the family. But the earlier the women do that, the better it will be for them. And it is not that it was not there. It was there all along. Somehow or other, the influences from the others, civilizations and everything, it became more patriarchal and men started designing. And it has moved to such an extent that people are becoming even misogynistic, to the extent that they can't even, think of sharing a powerful seat with a lady who has all the knowledge and potential, but they will try to avoid as much as possible, even in the work culture. But that is not right. If the person is potential, don't look at the sex of the person. Whether he or she can deliver what is required is what is to be seen, and that should be what should be taken into consideration. No other way, otherwise, no. And people, Harshita or Atmisha, people like you, if you are vociferous without hurting and showing arrogance,
You can logically convince, give respect to others when they are talking, and you demand respect. They will give you all the requirement which you can be happy with. No pressure from any male will be there on you.
Thank you, Binduji. I think there are definitely some people who are appreciating what you were saying. I just want to say a couple things, and if you feel differently, Binduji, then let me know after I say this, since we're both having this room here together. The chat needs to stay. It doesn't have to always agree, but when it's negative and distracting or hostile, then one of us will probably remove those chats. And if we can't keep the chat so that it's really benefiting everyone, then unfortunately we'd have to close it. So if people could please just moderate themselves, that would be really great. And one of the chats said something about, it seemed to imply that Advaita and the Q&A in Advaita was therefore only to some certain sect of spirituality. And I think Binduji's been pretty clear, in my view, over time, in a really beautiful way, that the real truth of Advaita isn't limited to any culture, any sort of religious perspective. It's happened all around the world, and it doesn't exclude people even who have different religious associations, such as being Sikh or being Christian, from having a proper place here. So I'd like this to stay a welcoming space for everyone. And there was some implication that if someone had a different religious leaning, they weren't welcome to bring their question forward as pertinent to really understanding what Advaita means. Binduji, could you just comment on that, and then we'll give the rest of the time to Shobha. And I'm going to go ahead and close hand raising, just so that people who have already raised questions have time to make sure they're fully answered.
Well, Advaita is not talking anything about do's and don'ts in life, first and foremost. So to make a statement of Advaita being, any sort of controlling this life of people is out of question. Because Advaita is talking only about the absolute, is not a exclusive thing which need to be achieved through means. What Advaita says is that you are that. There is no difference between you and that, because it is that which is appearing as you. So there is no way it is telling you how to live your life or how to do your life. Yes, the requirements for learning this, they will mention about the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, or the fourfold requirement like Viveka, Vairagya, Sadhana Chatushtaya, Shat Sampatti and Mokshutva. That will be there, but that is not about how to lead a family, how to lead a daily life or anything like that. So it is not a cult. Advaita is not a cult. Advaita is talking about the truth. And that truth, Advaita tells that truth is the same for in everyone, and everything is the same truth only. That is what Advaita in a nutshell is. So if there is any misapprehension or misinformation about Advaita being this and being that, I'm sorry from where that has come. I am not responsible for that. At least in my rooms, I don't do that type of a
Binod,
mentioning.
actually, your answer just kind of indicated that, Binod, because when I asked you, because
SK, I don't blame you. I told that it is my personal views. I didn't say it is the way Advaita is talking about, Advaita is teaching. Sorry. All that answers which I gave to Harshita is from my personal level as a person who has seen this world for 70 years. And I've seen what is good and what is bad from my personal level. And that is what I mentioned to Harshita. Advaita doesn't talk about any of that. Advaita talks only about Tad Tvamasi. You are that.
Sure, Binod. I think that helps to clarify. And Artemisha, regarding that Advaita Q&A room, so actually that The silent guy, he just pasted some, Jesus kind of a thing, like, some statements, and it was kind of irrelevant. So, I mean, in that context, I just put him, nothing to say that, he's not welcome or anything like that. Just to
Yeah,
point
and
out that, yeah.
in this very house, I've read passages from the Gospel of Thomas. So
Yeah.
these things are relevant. There are people who see things in Christ that are very Advaitic. So let's just drop it and let's make sure that we both, me too, just try to make it so that this is truly a place that supports our own awakening. And Shobha, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. Yeah. A great moderation.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Now try.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Yes. Yeah. Hello, Artemisia. Hariom, everyone. Hariom, Mahodaya.
Hariom.
Today, it's been so good for everyday living, all the upadeshas that you've been giving, all the directions. Especially that one, and it answered some of the questions that I've had on my mind. And I wasn't going to ask actually, but it answered those also. And I appreciate that you said respect should be demanded, because, well, I was going to go into something, but I won't. But I have always believed that. I have always thought that no matter what someone does, we should always endure it and just be quiet and not say anything or do anything, because of I think all the confusion that comes from reading so many scriptures in the Dvaita world, that referring to people always refer to Rama or Sita, and in that way that everything should be endured, even if it is unjustly being done to you. That's never been right. So thank you for making it clear to all of us that respect should be demanded as long as we are walking in the dharmic path, and we know in our heart that we are doing the right thing and being a virtuous, person. So my question was actually what you said about Janaka. It came as a surprise to me that Shankara said it was a abhasa that he had, that he did not actually have Brahmagnana, or he had not attained that moksha, because Janaka is considered a Brahmagnani and is always referred to as a Brahmagnani whenever they want to give an example of how he stayed in the phenomenal world, did all his duties, both personal and as a king, but at the same time he was able to maintain that status of being a Brahmagnani. Can you explain that?
Yeah. In fact, the Bhashya, Shankaracharya mentions, if the word is the Yedi Janaka, that is how he starts the commentary. If Janaka is a jnani, then he completes the statement that, that means himself is not accepting Janaka as a jnani. If Janaka is a jnani, Shankaracharya should not have used it that way. With all due respect to Shankaracharya, whom I consider my guru also, with that thing, even his disciple Sureshwaracharya has commented on that, saying that was not needed. The word Yedi was not needed there by Shankara. So that is how I used that as a reference, that Shankaracharya is not accepting Janaka as a Brahmajnani. But he didn't say that Janaka is not a Brahmajnani. But indirectly he said that if Janaka is Brahmajnani, then he completes the sentence, which shows himself is not very clear whether he should accept Janaka as a Brahmajnani or not.
So then does that relate to what you said about Shankara recommending sannyasatvam to really attain that moksha, because Janaka was a grihastha and so he had to do his grihastha duties with his
that is why he
means.
had a problem. That is why
Right.
he had a problem.
So
And he
then,
upholds the Yajnavalkya taking sannyasa as a big thing. Because in spite of having the knowledge, he for the moksha purpose, he took sannyasa. That is how he says that.
Then this will negate any chance of moksha for all the grihasthas.
See, this is not a question of negating or approving and all those things. Kumarala Bhatta came for the purpose of reintroducing dharmic Vedic system in India, because he was a Buddhist monk, and when he went to take the bhiksha, one Rani told, if all of you are taking bhiksha like that, who is there to uphold the Vedic tradition in our land? So Kumarala Bhatta at that time removes his ochre robe from Buddha Bhikshu and says that, Mother, I today take vow on you that I will work towards re-establishing the Vedic tradition in your land. And that is how he established the Mimamsa based dharmic things in that period. But the same period, from south, Shankaracharya came with Advaita and challenged Kumarala Bhatta that only one part of the Veda is not the thing. The Veda should be taken in total. Mimamsa also has got the rule. The Upasana also has got rule. And the Vedanta, which is the Upanishads, also has got validity in the Vedic tradition. But when you come to Purushartha, it says Dharmartha Kama Moksha. That means moksha is the ultimate Purushartha. Therefore, Vedanta has the higher, relevance for people who are looking for moksha. For people who are looking for dharmic tradition, Mimamsa is the right thing. Those who are in between can have mix of dharmic activities and upasana. And those who are wanting to graduate to moksha but are not yet ready, for them upasana and jnana can be continued, and then that way he made the rules clear so that there is no confusion, saying that not only the Mimamsa is not the Vedic tradition, it's that all the three should be kept. The Purva Mimamsa, the Aranyaka, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad.
Okay. So in the case of Janaka, because he was doing his grihasashrama duty.
Yes. In fact, Yajnavalkya himself gives a certificate to Janaka, no? Abhayam praptosi. You have reached the state of freedom. The master says to the disciple.
Okay, because ultimately what it comes down to is the Tyaga of the Dvaita, anything that has to do with Dvaita. And therefore, that way anyone should be able to attain to that. So that's your conclusion? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, in the Taittiriya it says, Idaram antaram gurude atatasya bayam bhavati. If you have an iota of separation, antaram.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yes, then you will be permanently having the fear of the other one.
Yes.
That's exactly what happens in the Dvaita. You're afraid of God. I'm not saying that don't be afraid of God. Love God. That is what Jesus also said. Love thy neighbor, love God, love everybody as they are all the children of God. Right?
Yes. That is what a Brahmagnani would experience actually. That nothing but love and compassion for everything and everyone One, there is.
Sarva
In the
Bhuta
entire
Hitairata.
creation.
Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Bhuta Hitairata. Means the desire of well-being of every molecule of creation in this world will be the nature of the person who has attained the knowledge.
I think I understand now. Yes, what you are saying, but also in what way Shankara may have said that. I think I understand. If I have doubt, I'll ask you again later. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shobha.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Most especially Binduji for taking the time and the interest to share yourself with us and talk about these things with us that are really important. I do see that there are some others in the room who aren't part of the house. You're very welcome to join this house. There are a number of houses called Advaita Vedanta, but this one has the word satsang at the end. If you want to join, there's a regular schedule of Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. IST, which is the same as 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the same day. And on the weekdays, we have classes, and we're well into the Taittiriya Upanishad, 20-something, I think fifth maybe, in the next class, Wednesday and Friday. And then we have an open Advaita Vedanta Q&A with Binduji on Sunday. And again, for anyone who's new, the replays are here for the recent Upanishad classes and the Q&As. And the Upanishad classes, including a lot of earlier ones, are on the YouTube channel called Advaita Retold, or you can search it in YouTube under Advaitic Talks, and that's in Binduji's profile. So thank you, everyone. This was especially beautiful. I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you again to Prakash, who's covering a lot for the weekday classes while I'm, for a little while, unable to attend those. So thank you, everyone. You make this very special time for us. Yeah, I just saw the person in the chat wrote something, this person called Art of Dying. I did read your profile. I was kind of intrigued. So maybe you're somebody new that I'll get to know. All right. Thank you so much. Prakash, do you want to say anything before Binduji closes us out?
No, I just wanted to thank Binduji and, Binduji especially for, putting up with all our questions and for all the people who showed up and, it's a wonderful satsang. And I just want to introduce David. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in Clubhouse for a long time, but he's very interesting. So maybe someday he'll come up and we'll talk to Binduji. Greetings, David. And over to you, Binduji.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Artemisia, for moderating this room. Thank you all, Shobha, Srinivas, Jai, Venkat, Silent, Harshita, SK for the questions, and all those who have been listening and giving your response by way of heart and namaskar and all emoticons, which shows very clearly that you are, how attentive you are in the room. And I'm happy for sharing my little knowledge, whatever I have, with all of you. And see you all on Wednesday to continue our Taittiriya Upanishad. And the next Sunday we will have the Q&A again, continuing. Thank you all. Hari Om. Good night.